Welcome to the Stoppage Time edition of the Pitch to Pro podcast. This is a highlight reel of some of the best moments from the show so far, and every other week we will be bringing you a special 5 to 7 minute segment featuring the best stories, tales, and moments of the podcast.
Falling in love with the game, I think, is the most important part.
I love that.
Starting them young to fall in love with the game, that they follow through, is I think where we're lacking, because we don't start kids, or we're putting too much pressure on the kid when they're young instead of letting them fall in love with it. It's, you got to win like now. You're a 3-year-old, but you got to win, kind of thing. Yeah. And that's where, so we're making them fall out of love with it instead of falling in love with it.
That's such a great point. And it's something that I've always tried to be very conscious of, because I am a former player and I am a coach, and can be, I did grow up in an era where it was a lot of winning and a lot of pressure. So I'm glad that you said that, because I think I actually posted about this a couple days ago. I think too often it's adults that ruin a game for the kid.
100%.
Love for the game for the kid.
Yeah,
it's not that they
parents on the sideline.
Yeah. Parents or even coaches that are focused on the wrong things, or referees or whatever it is. But so often it's adults in that kid's life that ruin it. And it's any sport. It's not just soccer. Right?
Yeah.
But if you allow them to find the things that they love and support them, and fantastic, obviously soccer, but whatever it is, piano, great. How can I support you?
Exactly.
Right.
Yep. Help them fall in love with it. Don't take it away from them.
So talk a little bit about, how did Her Game 2 kind of as an initiative movement program start from the beginning there?
So in the UK, there was 6 or 7 of them. They got together and they realized the sexism over there for them, like just to go to a game, is they're getting told, get back in the kitchen, you don't belong here, you know nothing. And all the other comments even worse than that. So a girl named Kaz May, she, chatting with her other friends, realized this is a problem, not just at her team, but all of the teams. And so she got together and decided, let's do a video and release this video and see what happens, kind of thing. And so they created the video. They posted it the day of the FA Cup game, because they knew most people are going to be on Twitter that day because you're watching the FA Cup. You're going to be involved social media wise. And it just skyrocketed. I think in an hour it was trending. So definitely was a problem. And they had a social media page, and it just blew up with people following it left and right. And I actually watched it on that day. I remember sitting there watching this video going, wow, kind of like it grabbed your attention, because these are people who, if you look at their other social media, they're bubbly, happy people, and they look so serious. It makes it stand out. So that's where it started. And then like I said, I saw it. It was like, we did that here in the States in a different way, because I've been to so many soccer matches, because I used to be a season ticket holder for the Chicago Fire. So I've been to multiple games. I don't hear that stuff. Like, I'm good with going. The comments I would hear is, you actually know the game, like in a surprising tone. And like, you don't say that to a guy when they say something. So why? So it's a different aspect. And then also going to the pub. That's where I was having my issues. Going to watch a game at a bar or a pub. That's when the sexism would come in, and not go back to the kitchen, but the touching or pretending to brush by kind of thing. And that's where I was like, well, I need to talk to Kaz and figure out how to bring that here. Yeah. How do I do that? Like, what did you do there that I can replicate here? And so that's how it came to the States. I met with her, obviously not physically met with her. We FaceTimed with each other, and it was like an hour and a half conversation of just going over everything. And she was surprised it actually happened here in the States. She really thought, because of us having the women's soccer and they're blowing up and how good they are, that everybody followed women and loved watching the women play.
It's interesting to see what people's perceptions are outside of the country or the market, right?
Exactly. And I was like, whoa, okay. If you're over here, you know differently. But it was neat. Like you said, it was great to hear that side of it. And then we started working on, okay, so she's like, all right, you want to bring in the States? I give you full authority to do it. And so then the pressure was on me to make it happen. So we redid the video with Americans. So, because we didn't want to just redo her video and repost it.
Right.
So she's like, can you find a bunch of American girls who have had issues and do the same video? So we did. I reached out to a bunch of people trying to get videos, and that's kind of where it kicked off from.
So how long after the UK group kind of did their video and launch, if you will, to when you reached out to Kaz and started that?
They launched, I was probably 5 months, 6 months before because it was a partly me, because I wanted to ask him right away. And then I'm like, I don't know, maybe it's not a problem here. Maybe it's just me. So I started talking to my friends and kind of in my circle of people and going, do you suffer anything? Do you have a problem? What would you think? And I was even asking, because I'm a part of a club up near Chicago, and I was asking the people there, what do you think if I brought this campaign here? What do you, because I'm not much of a leader per se, so this was a huge leap for me. So it was like, okay, what do I do here? And everyone was like, you need to do it. Do it. So it took me 5 months, and that's when I reached out to Kaz.
Thank you for joining us for this Stoppage Time special of the Pitch to Pro podcast. If you've enjoyed the conversation, you can click watch the full episode here. Be sure to tune in next Thursday for a new episode of the Pitch to Pro podcast,
the official podcast of Ozark United FC.
Available on YouTube, Instagram, and everywhere you get your podcasts.